You're watching Inside Cowboy Football.
It was a bizarre game in Lincoln, Nebraska 20 years ago when the Cowboys took on the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Oklahoma State had a tough start to that game, but despite that tough start, Barry Sanders cranked out his usual big game on the ground. Here's a look at that performance as we continue our look back at Barry Sanders' Heisman Trophy campaign of 1988.
Well, you know, by this time, I think everybody's realizing what's happening here. And, you know, it was not a fluke. It was not a mirage. He wasn't doing it against second-rate competition. Go on the road at Lincoln, and by the time these scores and these numbers were starting to filter out, and we knew it, and so did everybody else in the country, that something really, really unique is going on here. Now, it was a downer from the standpoint that, I mean, this club actually felt like, even with our defensive deficiencies, that we might be able to might be good enough to make a legitimate run at the national championship. And, you know, and it was a big ball game. We felt like going up there, we had a chance, and the Oklahoma State-Nebraska series had been lopsided as far as Oklahoma State wins, hadn't since '61 or whatever it was. Thought we had a legitimate chance up there. Didn't get it done. So I think, and Sanders was of this way, even though the numbers were huge, the fact that we didn't win the ball game kind of cut us all, Sanders included. They couldn't stop us from scoring. Now, we couldn't. They had gotten out on us so far that we couldn't catch them. Obviously, it ended up, I think, for a long, long time, and it might have ended up that way. This was the most points ever scored on a Tom Osborne team.
They were very, very good on offense. We couldn't slow them down, and they certainly had a difficult time slowing us down. Now, they jumped up on us by 21. We came back late in the first half and scored a couple touchdowns and got back in the game. But we had a difficult time stopping them, and obviously they couldn't tackle him. We were able to move the ball and score some points. It's pretty amazing for us to score 48 points up there at Nebraska. That was unheard of at that particular time. And for him to be able to run and be as successful as he was pretty amazing.
Even Nebraska's Blackshirt defense couldn't stop Barry in 1988. Sanders put on a show in Lincoln, finding the end zone 4 times and finishing the day with 189 yards. It was the 4th most rushing yards against any Nebraska team.